Oh my goodness, it's been 2 weeks, but baby, we're back and we're ready to go all the way around the effing galaxy. Woo!
Here we go.
And we're ready to go.
At least we know what a spaceship sounds like now.
I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Kenneth effing Dry. How you doing, Liam?
I'm very, very well. Of course, as you mentioned there, I wasn't here last week. Really draining week, and I didn't want the people down, but, it just got to a point where you just need to rest, you know what I mean? You got to energize yourself, but you know what? I'm back. I'm here, and it seems somebody else is loving the energy as well.
This is my good friend Molly. Thanks for stopping by to say hello.
Now, have you noticed something a bit different today on my side?
I love it. It's bright. It goes with the colors of the show. Have you always had red walls?
I have. I've always had them. I've just kind of the weird thing is I like to put myself not in the darkness a little bit and put the focus on other people, but I've turned the light on today, just see what happens. And, maybe next week and the week after.
Yeah, and maybe after you can watch it back and say, I hate it or I love it, whatever, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, like I said, it's been 2 weeks, my friend. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm doing great. Just happy to be back doing a podcast with my buddy Liam. We are the Canadian UK connection, baby.
I was seeing where you were going with that, and I'm like, yes, nice little connection.
What do you call it? The UK can UK? I don't know what we call it.
You can.
You can. No. I think the British Canucks.
Something like that, you know what I mean?
I like the Canada UK connection. How about that?
Something like that. Let's catch up with the comments. Caleb's obviously in the house. No, I'm not. I'm living the picture, by the way. I've just noticed.
He's excited for the draft.
We'll obviously get onto the draft later on, and he's loved the name. I think Caleb always loves the name, doesn't he? Let's be honest.
All right, enough fluff, enough guff. Let's go into something that we call the vault.
Like it's time to open up the vault.
Do you know the combination? Okay, I told the interns to take that tiger out. Clearly, they did not listen.
Remember, we changed the password?
Yes, and it's been 2 weeks, and I can't remember what it is. Please don't shout at me.
The password is here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Which is kind of ironic when there's a tiger in there.
As you're opening the password, here, kitty. Oh no, he's coming.
Oh dear. I mean, it's been 2 weeks. I'm really excited to see what's in the vault this week. I mean, I'm super, super excited. I will be honest.
All right, this first one, it's a recipe that I've been exploring, and I hope that you'll like. Let's take a look. Chicken stuffed with smoked fish. Follow me for more recipes.
You want to tell people what I was doing when you sent me this?
You were eating chicken when I sent this.
But yeah, so literally, I nearly choked on my chicken, which is kind of.
You're choking your chicken.
That kind of means something else in some people's minds, but
yes.
But
I don't think chicken and fish go good together, anyways, right?
No, I don't think I've ever tried them together. To be honest with you,
chicken and fish common? No, they don't go.
Not at all. So maybe what's the next week's recipe? Maybe that could be a weekly thing. Another recipe next week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can come up with another recipe for next week. All right, what do we got next?
Here,
Caleb, here, fishy.
Right, then we've got this is an image you sent me, and it's the perfect timed image. I absolutely love this.
So this is titled "The Perfect Photo."
Mm-hmm.
Like, how cute is this cat and dog?
It is. And you know what? I love these type of friendships because people think that, oh, cats and dogs don't get along. But there's videos online absolutely everywhere where you just see them get along so well. It's really
Well,
cool.
it's all about if you have them in the same house and they're used to cats and the cats are used to dogs, and it's just.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love it.
I adore cats and dogs, and they're heavily featured in the vault. This is one you found, right?
Cats and dogs. Cats and what?
What's a doff?
Is that meant to say dogs?
Cats and doffs. I don't know.
Cats and dogs. Yeah, this is the one I found, and I just feel like it's just so cute. It's basically a cat, and then he discovers that he's actually a cat. It's about 8 seconds. Check it out.
Here's my foot. I have another foot. Holy shit! There's 4 of them. What the what?
The one thing I like about that is that double look where it's like, huh? What?
What? 2 of them.
Oh dear. Mr. Isaac says cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria.
We used to have. I had my brother living with me for a while, and his dog and my cat used to fight, like roll around the house fighting, but they were play fighting.
Yeah.
And my brother was worried that my cat was going to bite his neck off.
What?
It's like, no, they're just playing.
Oh dear. But I just like saw it on when I'm flicking through YouTube, and I'm like, this is just so cute because it's just like the realization. It's like, what?
All right, we got another animal one.
Yes, this is if I say microphone and a dog, I'll let you describe it.
All right, let's
Here
go.
we go.
Game over.
You're too right. It's game over.
So first, it wakes him up. Let's play one more time.
Game over.
It's so funny because the dog wakes him up, and then he's like, "Oh, it's my own brand."
Do you know the most funniest thing about that actual video is the actual microphone is the same one I've got right here.
Have you ever tried recording your own fart?
No, that's just weird. Maybe in school I did, but not now.
Maybe in the vault next week we'll hear Liam's fart.
No, you do not want to.
and then you get Liam.
Game over.
Game over.
Dear, we've got one more video, and I don't even know how to describe this one. Is it like
This is just a quick near disaster video.
Okay, here we go. Whoa.
There's like 4 things that happen, just like almost like that.
Do you know the second one?
Just to show that it only takes a second.
Yeah. The thing is, I saw this video when you sent to me, but I thought the second one was actually the flooring. The ceiling. It was the actual fan.
Yeah, the fan almost came and hit the kid.
Yeah, I thought it was the ceiling for some reason.
Yeah, the car almost hits the other guy. The one woman almost falls in the well.
I don't know how to answer this one.
Not that I know of. I haven't done it. Have you?
No, not at all.
Not yet. Not yet. Never say never.
Oh dear, we're going to end on something which we absolutely love. There's a certain type of man. I forgot. It's got a special name for it. Is it something man?
It's a new segment that we started here. It's called the Florida Man, which leads us to our knowledge is power right after every time, because you don't want to be like the Florida Man.
Okay, so this is the story, and I believe you've got all the information on this one.
Hold on, let me just load it up really quickly. Get past all these dogs and cat pictures. All right. Here we go. Florida man. So Florida man attacks mattress in jealous rage. An apparently hallucinating Florida man used a bedpost to attack the mattress. Now, the story on this is so Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office quotes the girlfriend of the 37-year-old Florida man. She said that he'd been acting erratically early that Friday. And the girlfriend told deputies that he would thought that she was cheating on him with a man he thought he saw inside the mattress. He hit the mattress with a bedpost, ripped it apart, and locked the door behind him. The sheriff's office says the Florida man later admitted to have smoked a little bit of meth.
So, kids, I don't even know. Why do I even begin with this one?
Children, you might have a girlfriend. You might have a girl in your class or whatever. Don't go into a jealous rage. You probably won't. But if you do meth, you might. So, kids, it's as simple as this. Don't do drugs. Don't smoke meth. Knowledge really is power. Oh!
Hi.
Yes, knowledge is power. Which brings us to our main event, the news portion of the show.
Now,
Now, have you seen Fallout? This new show called Fallout?
No.
It's the video game Fallout.
Okay, yep, I'm aware of those of the game.
Okay, so there's a new show on Prime called Fallout. It's really good. And guess what? There's a black and white segment on the show called Galaxy News.
Oh my God. Are we going to copyright these?
Black and white globe is like Galaxy News.
Are we going to copyright these?
Oh my goodness, they're stealing our gimmick.
I've actually played the game Fallout, and it's just a game I couldn't really get into. I think it's just one of those that wind me up.
I've never played it, but I love the TV show. It's so good.
Yeah, there's some great TV shows out there and stuff like that. And I need to really catch up. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But
yeah, if you have Prime, then give it a watch.
Absolutely. So it's been 2 weeks. We've got loads of stuff obviously to catch up on. I mean, where should we start? Should we start with the title changes?
Yeah. So ever since WrestleMania, we've had like one show after Mania, maybe two. I don't know, but we've had some title changes since then.
Absolutely. So from AEW, I'm using this is straight off my brain. So correct me if I'm wrong on this. TBS titles obviously now with Willow. The world titles obviously with Swerve, which we'll get onto. WWE
new combined trios champions. They've merged the titles together. The Bullet Club Gold,
which is obviously another one. WWE obviously Rhea's now relinquished the title and lost it. That was really surprising. What do you reckon to that?
I think that if it was a man, they would have let her not defend it and just hold on to it. Because look how long Seth Rollins went without defending that belt.
I mean, you could say how long did Roman go before he defended it?
Yeah, Rhea didn't defend it every week, so or that's why I like interim belts.
Thank you for that, GM Joe. Don't forget the books and the tag titles. I mean, yep.
And Chris Jericho, the FTW champion now.
There you go. So that's obviously in AEW. I didn't think there was any in...
Was there any in NXT?
There was, yes. So this week, Trick Williams bet Dragunov, which I was really surprised. I'm a huge Dragunov fan, which has obviously got the speculation of, will he go up to the main roster?
I think Dragunov, he did have one match on the main roster already after Mania.
Oh, okay. So
he beat Shinsuke Nakamura.
I think everybody beat Shinsuke, let's be honest.
I beat Shinsuke one time.
So yeah, there's been obviously a lot of title changes. Any which stick out for you?
For me, the biggest is Swerve Strickland.
Absolutely. I mean, I have to fully agree with this one.
Like this guy, keep pushing him to the moon. Um, I don't think this is like even though he's got the gold,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's at the top yet.
No, not at all.
No, this is just the start of the first level.
Absolutely, and a lot of people like counting out Samoa Joe's obviously title reign, but he obviously it was. I feel like he did his best he could. To be fair,
I love Samoa Joe's title reign. Um, he deserved it. He was a complete badass. But at his age, definitely transitional, and that's fine. Like it's not complete transitional. He had a couple months,
mm-hmm.
like 3-4 months, I think.
Yeah. Joe says thoughts on Eli becoming the new third of the Imperium.
There's a rumor.
I don't know. Joe, can you obviously elaborate on that one for us? I mean, I've not seen anything on that. Have you?
No, I haven't seen anything on that, but they did just beat the holy hell out of one of their members on Monday Night Raw.
The thing is, I mean, Gunther and Dragunov is probably one match I would love to see again. You know what I mean?
Well, you got 1A and 1B with Gunther and Dragunov then. If he does join Imperium.
Yeah, this has he come back on?
No, so this is just your opinion. I wouldn't want to see it because I do want to see another Gunther versus Dragunov match.
Absolutely, I have to agree there. For me, that would be one match I would love to see because we know how good Gunther is. The most talked about thing for me now is what's next for Gunther. We obviously saw him with the IC title now; he's no longer the champion. So what's kind of next? Because for me, he brought prestige back to that title.
So, I think he's going to go after the world title.
Mm-hmm.
Not Cody's, the other one.
Yep.
What title changes stick out to you that other than Swerve?
I mean, so the Bucks one, I kind of saw that coming. To be honest, you know, what I mean, that was kind of like the thing. I think I'm gonna have to go with the real one because it was just so out of the blue that she relinquished the title. Obviously, you know, the injury and stuff. And the problem is, a lot of people are torn with obviously Becky taking the title now.
Yeah, let's talk about this because she was called Becky Hogan. Like the fans are merciless on her. It's not her fault.
Mm-hmm.
I think this really falls on Triple H.
For me, I mean, I'm not obviously a booker and stuff like that, but if I had to pick somebody, I would have picked Liv Morgan because then you've got that story of when like Rhea comes back, she's come to claim her title, she's injured, so there's a whole story there.
Yeah, I think this is what the fans are pissed about because everyone wanted Liv Morgan to win it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Becky's about to go on vacation, but hold up. No, not so fast. Triple H decides that he wants to put it on Becky instead, and that's where the fans get pissed off. And it's not Becky's fault.
No,
but
not
it's
at all.
like certain wrestlers get shoved down your throat, and that was the problem with Roman Reigns originally.
Yep. And I feel like Becky might be the same like thing here. Did you see the video where after the match where how annoyed Liv actually was?
No, was this kayfabe or?
There was a video which a fan shot after, and you could tell that she was really, you know, annoyed, and I think I was actually as well. But again, I think is that just fan expectation in a way?
I think I like when fans don't get their way. It can be a bit overbearing, but that's. I think that's the new prerogative.
Absolutely. So Joe says Willow deserves this title run. Really hope she's not a 1 month transitional champ.
Unfortunately, I think like that's exactly what she is.
Yeah, this is probably one of those. I mean, it's obviously clear now it's going to be Willow and obviously Monet at Double or Nothing. Which the problem is, I mean, I don't want to see it, but I think it's kind of obvious what's going to happen here.
Yeah, Jim just said it's not fair to say Becky's been shoved down our throats. She has put over quite a few ladies. Plus, it's been a time since she's held a main title. Um, I disagree. I think like when you make someone so prominent,
Mm-hmm.
uh, she's the main event of Mania. Well, not the main event, but she's in the title scene at Mania. When there's other people that can go to the forefront that are
Mm-hmm.
being held back because Becky gets another push. It's like
Yep.
Charlotte. Charlotte gets another push. Like
Yeah.
there's other people there that need a shot.
Absolutely. I mean, and obviously the other thing for Double or Nothing, I just want to put a slight little mention there. It's going to be my guy Will Ospreay versus the Strong, which Matt, you mentioned before we came on the air. You feel like he's not a good champion in a way.
Well, he's a great wrestler, but like he's not defending the belt. I think he said like 2 defenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this as a way to keep him and Swerve away from each other because I think uh, I liked Will's response about like when they said, "When are you going for the world title?" He's like, he had nothing but praise for his friend Swerve Strickland, and they
Yeah.
apparently they go way back.
Yes, they do. I mean, I couldn't tell you how far they go back. I mean, I know obviously a lot of Will's history and stuff, but I don't know everything. I'm not going to be the first to admit that.
Yeah. The other one I want to talk about really quickly before we move on is Chris Jericho reinventing himself again. Uh,
I mean, we can talk
I
about this as a
I
good
love
fan,
this
but
version of Chris Jericho.
yes, you do. But I think a lot of fans clearly don't. Let's be honest.
Well, that's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
He's totally leaning in to the fans' bullshit. He's
Okay.
leaning into it. Like, how could you not like they're all booing him? He's like, "Thank you." It's amazing. And then you got Big Bill coming up saying he wants to be under Chris Jericho's learning tree. I absolutely adore learning tree Chris Jericho. Putting another title on him that's like meaningless. Like the
Mm-hmm.
FTW title is meaningless, but you put it on Chris Jericho, now it means something.
The problem is with this. I mean, this has obviously sparked a lot more speculation about is Hook going to WWE.
I the rumors are Ricky Starks and
Mm-hmm.
Hook, um, and I guess they are also interested in Britt Baker, but there's no way Britt Baker's going anywhere.
Now, the one out of all them three for me is obviously Starks. I'm a huge Ricky Starks fan.
Yeah, I could easily see Ricky Starks jumping ship and getting paid. I think as long as he's on the main roster,
Mm-hmm.
like I think that if you go to WWE and you're on NXT,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, I guess we shall see, but I mean, we'll obviously stick with the AEW thing for our next story. And can we talk about what he said on the thing, or should we talk about the ending of Dynamite? I'll let you decide on this one.
Okay, let's start with Tony Khan on the NFL Network.
Okay.
So I'll read out what was said. So Tony Khan, he was there talking about his neck injury. We'll get into that a bit later. AEW, we've been doing this for 5 years. We're the most successful sports startup since the AFL. That's pre-merger. There's been not a challenger brand that has gained as much market share as AEW has in many, many years. We are like the Pepsi of pro wrestling. We're up against an evil juggernaut. WWE is our competitor. That's who we're facing. AEW is like Pepsi of pro wrestling. WWE is like the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling. I'm really proud. He throws the shot out there, then he goes back to, and I'm really proud of what we're doing here. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, how can you compare WWE to one of the worst human beings in the UK? Right? Well, not in the UK, in the world right now. Let's be honest.
Well, to be fair, WWE just finished going. They're not even finished with it. They're still going through that sex scandal with Vince McMahon.
But the thing is, right, and this is what really winds me up more. So, Tony Khan at the minute seems to be more focused on what WWE. It should be more focused about obviously the product as a whole. Look at obviously what happened this obviously Wednesday on Dynamite. Look at the viewership. Look at what's gone off. Do you know what I mean? There's bigger things to walk about instead of poking the bear WWE.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you fling mud, mud is going to come back on you. Yeah, do you think the WWE is going to leave this alone?
But the thing
There's
is,
no way.
No, I don't think it. I have to agree there on that a little bit. But he keeps poking the bear, and the bear obviously is a lot bigger, a lot more experienced, a lot more better production wise. I mean, for me, he should be focusing more on other stuff than this. This is just absolute ludicrous, in my opinion.
Now, Jim Joe, did you know this comment?
The last one.
Now, did you put it? Did you put a vote up in all of the wrestling community, or is this somewhere else?
This must be somewhere else because I have not seen this.
All right.
So this is new to me.
So here's my point. I think we've all gone a bit soft.
Okay.
Because you remember WCW versus WWE, the Monday Night Wars?
Yes, of course. What's your point?
People were saying shit all the time, and no one batted an eyelash. They're like, "Oh, burn!" No one's going. Are we gone a bit soft? Are we all? Is this woke stuff? Is it changed us a little bit?
But let's be honest, this is not the 90s. This is 2024. A lot of things have obviously changed over the years. You know what I mean? Yeah, people obviously you can't speak up about certain things for obvious reasons and stuff. But for me, comparing WWE to somebody like Harvey Weinstein is just absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? You can't let's be honest, AEW is never going to get to the thing where WWE is. WWE has got so much of a head start. And the thing is, AEW is in a bad place right now, and I hate to admit that. And I am a mark. I just want to point that out. But there's a lot of things going off for AEW, and I feel like they need to be focused more than poking WWE.
And Jim Jobs points out these are the same people saying we want the Attitude Era.
Okay.
So these people are saying you can't say that, but we want the Attitude Era. Like WWE was throwing shots at WCW every Monday. WCW is throwing shots.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just think that's just how it is. Pepsi hates Coke. Coke hates Pepsi.
Yeah, wish we knew that anyway.
So WWE hates AEW. AEW hates WWE.
But do you honestly think that this comment's, I won't say fair, but an interesting one?
I don't know if it's bad because you're drawing attention to AEW from people in the NFL who are like, oh, there's another wrestling thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's comparing WWE to Weinstein. What are these guys about? Like, you're on the NFL Network drawing like he's obviously trying to make a splash.
Look at the last comment, what Mr. Isaac says, and I essentially agree with it. I'm not going to display it.
I think we have to display that.
This one, are you sure?
There's a difference in taking shots and calling an entire company a rapist. I don't know if it's controversial. Let's say that.
Absolutely.
I think that's fair. It's a controversial thing to say.
He's made AEW look very foolish to non-wrestling fans. And
I disagree with that because it's all about perspective.
Okay.
Where you're coming from. If you're coming and you hear that, you're like, interesting. If you're not a wrestling fan, you're just like, interesting. What's this all about?
I think this is going to be one of those things where me and you're going to have to agree to or disagree with.
No, but think about this for a second. If you're we got wrestling podcasts. Obviously, we're very invested, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like our opinions are we're going to be much different than non-wrestling fans.
But that's what makes this world, you know what it is. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So Again, like I said, I think this is going to be one where we're going to have to agree to disagree because we could be here for a whole hour just debating this, to be honest.
Oh, let's stay the whole hour. Let's do this, Liam. Now that you're in the light, things are different.
No, because we've got other things to obviously talk about.
Okay. Now let's talk about the ending of Dynamite.
This one? I love that image.
I love how he's just laid out like that. It totally reminds me of like you playing dead when you're a kid.
I mean, I don't even know what to begin with this. Let's be honest. What do you think?
I think this was like one of the single best endings to Dynamite in their history.
So, yes, was it shocking? Absolutely. But did you see the viewership for this?
Okay, so it's important to note that they're going against the playoffs in NBA and NHL.
Okay.
So it fell below 700,000, but as we've discussed before, ratings are not everything in professional wrestling anymore.
So the official thing was actually the poorest, and it was 683.
Yeah, to me, the numbers aren't important because people are watching all sorts of ways wrestling now.
Okay, and the other things obviously with this was, and this is obviously what fans have obviously been saying, is the audio issues as well. This was another thing.
I didn't get too many audio issues on my stream, so did you have that problem when you were watching?
We didn't know. It must be like a in the moment thing.
Yeah, I think it was a TBS network problem rather than something else.
Okay, and I just want to get your opinion on this last little comment here because I don't know what I feel about this one.
Can you show GM Joe's comment?
Yeah,
that's fair. That's so fair. Like I think it's very silly for fans to be talking numbers. They only got like, so what does it matter to you?
Yeah,
the advertising numbers.
But the thing is, we're in a world now where numbers just seem to be, a big part of obviously everything, including wrestling.
Well, no, we know that ratings do not matter as much because look at the whole WWE is moving to Netflix, where there is no ratings on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, streaming is obviously becoming a big part. A lot of things now.
So, what were we talking about after the ratings? We were moving on to something else.
We're talking about obviously the Tony Khan thing at the end. I mean, what did you honestly think when this actual thing took place?
As soon as I heard that Tony Khan was going to be talking in the ring to Jack Perry, I was like, this is going to be great, and it could lead to an evil Tony Khan.
But the thing is, and this is what obviously a lot of people's annoyed about, is Tony obviously way back said he would never be an on-screen personality, but here we are.
I think if you're held to things you said a couple of years ago, you're like, if I was held to things like you said a couple of years ago, you limit yourself.
Okay.
So let's say I'd never date a smoker. All of a sudden, this beautiful, drop-dead, gorgeous girl walks in the room and she's smoking. I think I'm changing my policy. I don't like the cigarettes, but I think I can handle it.
Dear. So this has obviously divided a lot of fans. I mean, I remember watching it going, holy shit, what the hell is happening here? And it has divided, obviously, a lot of fans. You kind of on point with the viewership. I guess we'll obviously see, in the long run, how this obviously plays into it.
I love the elite taking over, kind of the NWO vibes.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But what do you think, obviously, Jack Perry finally being back? I mean, for some reason,
Jack Perry coming back, being with the elite is the perfect spot for him. He's elevated to the top spot.
I've got to be honest, I can't take his promo work seriously.
Well, the thing when he's with the Jacksons, he doesn't need to.
No.
He's. I think the final member is going to be Hangman,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that might be Swerve's first title defense.
You reckon?
Could be.
Joe said, we need to see how this plays out. Nothing guaranteed that he will be on screen full time. No, I absolutely agreed, on that comment. I don't obviously want to focus on all negative. I don't want to be all negative and stuff like that, but you've got to give credit to obviously AEW for basically bringing reality, because obviously it's all based on obviously what happened backstage.
Yeah. And I think that it's important to note that this is the first time it's been done in how long?
As long as I can remember.
Yeah, like if this is going after the NWO model, then like if they, I think that the secret thing he says, the Bucks say, Tony Khan is still the best boss we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Right after they beat the shit out of him. So that kind of makes you think, is this something setting up where Tony Khan is going to be with the Elite?
Who knows? I guess, like Joe said, there just remains to be seen. So we'll move along, because obviously we've got a lot more obviously to talk about. And it's kind of like following on in suit. And Goldberg's been back in the news again.
I love this.
So what did Goldberg say about AEW?
Okay, so I guess he'd had some talks with Tony Khan, and I guess he didn't like, like he's not going to be booked to the moon if he comes to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And either he wasn't offered a contract or he was offered something similar to RVD.
Interesting. I
But
can't see.
This is what I think is happening, Liam.
Mm-hmm.
I think Goldberg thinks he's got one more Saudi payday in him.
To be fair, I never even thought of that bit, but we saw what happened last time it was at Saudi Arabia.
Yes, because in the same interview, he's praising Triple H like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you're usually when people are talking shit about one of the companies you could go to,
yep,
and praising the other one, you're like, okay, you're thinking that you could get one more Saudi show. Like, that's all he's got. He gets one Saudi show, it's worth it all.
As long as he gets a better match than he has last one, I'm all for it.
I'm not. Get the guy out of here. God, what do they call those curtain hooks where they pull the guy off the stage?
Just any type of hook will do. There you go. Maybe get hooked from AEW.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. Oh dear. We'll obviously move to TNA, and TNA Rebellion was 20th, which I think was last weekend. Yep. And there was actually 3 debuts: Santana, Matt Hardy, and somebody who I'm a big fan of, Sami Callihan. What do you think? So
the Matt Hardy one, they are that's just a one-off, possibly. There's no contract signed.
Mm-hmm.
But he's come back, broke Matt Hardy. The thing about this show, they only had 500 TV buys.
That is ridiculous.
500. Now, we're not counting for mobile buys on your phone, other ways you can buy it, but still.
But looking at the actual show, I mean, it looked a pretty good show, to be honest.
Yeah, TNA, if it continues down this road, it's not looking good.
Now, you mentioned Matt Hardy there being a one-off thing. I just want to point out he is actually on their roster page.
Interesting.
Along with Callahan as Santana.
Now, a lot of companies that have a handshake agreement, paid per appearance, they still put them on the roster page.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, there's certain wrestlers that are under handshake agreements, pay per appearance. Like Chuck Taylor, last I heard, is only a paid by appearance in AEW.
Wow, that's quite enlightening. I didn't know that.
Enlightening.
There you go. Yeah, the thing is with TNA, I mean, ever since obviously Scott's left, a lot of fans are still like shitting on the company a lot, and I feel like this is gonna not go away. Let's be honest.
No, I don't. I don't feel like the people who are shitting on TNA actually watch TNA
Mm-hmm.
because I think there's a good product there. Um, it just needs a proper network. Like if I could watch TNA on a normal channel on a
Yep.
normal night, I'd watch it. But like, I'm not hunting around to get it. That's my thing. If I have to go to some dodgy website,
Yeah, sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
yeah,
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, I've actually watched some of obviously the current TNA product, and it is really good.
yeah,
I will
I
be
think
honest. Do you know what I mean? There's some great talent there. Nick Nemeth's there, stuff like that. Steve Macklin's re-signed, so there's some really good, obviously, talent. Do you know on that roster?
Mustafa Ali. So he decided he didn't want to be part of the IWGP um, Junior Weight Championship tournament unless he'd win it.
Really? Why is that?
So
Do we
he
know?
refused to be part of the tournament unless he'd win it.
Wow, I didn't. That's quite surprising, to be honest.
But I understand, like, if you're going to go there and uh, they're going to lower your star, what's
Mm-hmm.
more important, money or your status?
Depends who you ask. That
That's
really
true.
depends
That's
who you
true.
ask, because I'm sure there's a lot of wrestlers out there who do it for the money, and I'm sure there's wrestlers out there who do it for the popularity and stuff.
Well, they kind of like your stardom. Like if your star isn't shiny, it means
Mm-hmm.
not very much money. If your star is shiny, that means lots of money. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Not just win, but not lose a single match. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. That's what was said.
Just looking at the comments there. No, I think we'll go up on that one. Now you mentioned the IWGP thing there, and I think Will Hobbs is obviously injured, I believe.
Yes, that he had a knee injury. Uh, they had lots more planned for that match on Dynamite, but they had to cut it short. So he's looking like he could be out some time.
Ouch. A lot of injuries recently, do you know, across every bit of wrestling.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I'm just having a look see if there's any extra news a little bit because we're a little bit way ahead on time. Now this is interesting because I want to bring this up. So obviously, Clash at the Castle's coming up for WWE, and it seems a lot of fans are really kicking up about the pricing on this.
Okay, so our good friend Alec Haney
Mm-hmm.
has bought a ticket for him and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can't just go to Clash at the Castle.
Nope.
You have to go to Clash at the Castle and the SmackDown the night before.
So that's like a 2-day event, and if I remember right, it's about £300 UK money, which is roughly about $450 US.
Now, Alex, I don't know if I should be saying this, but that's a little low from what I'm hearing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm quite surprising at that.
Now, for good tickets, you're looking at probably $1,000 for two people.
Well, that's probably close to the front, though, I do believe.
Yeah, for good tickets, you're looking at like $2,000. Sorry, $1,000 for the 2-night event for two people.
Do you think that's a good thingy? Like to do it as a 2-night event? Like you can't just go to one?
I don't like it at all. Like if you only want to go to Clash at the Castle, you shouldn't be forced to go to the SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like that's where they're getting hit because, you're forced to buy tickets you're not really interested in. Like it's kind of sneaky.
Absolutely. And I've just obviously seen this and I've completely forgot all about it. The WWE draft, that's coming up.
Yes, the draft is tonight. Um, what are your thoughts on this? Like, are you excited?
I've never really been a big fan of the draft, to be honest with you.
I will admit the draft it hasn't been cool in a long time.
No, because the thing is, it's like, oh, this person's like going on this show, but then so many months down the line, this person ends up on this show, so it kind of like defeats the object, like a draft.
Yeah, all of a sudden or they do little loopholes around it. He is a special guest here tonight. How many times have they done that?
I've lost count. I will be honest with you.
He's a special guest here, Monday Night Raw, even though he's a SmackDown guy.
I mean, what do you think also to the draft? I mean, are you against it? Do you think it's a bit silly, or do you think it just like it's pointless?
It's tough because if you want fans to be interactive and be part of it, but at the same time, it's like, couldn't you just do it on the WWE Network, a special draft?
Possibly.
And then, yeah, you do that. Just do the draft. Actually, this is brilliant. You do the draft like a legit NFL, NHL, like sporting event draft on their network.
Yeah, I mean, who could?
And then all of a sudden, Monday Night Raw, they'll do a review. Oh, this is our new roster. Blah blah blah. Done.
Is it? Do we actually really need a draft? Really? We used to see them.
Well, I don't want a draft episode of Monday Night Raw. I don't want a draft episode of SmackDown. So, like, if you want to do a draft, do it a special episode, and I don't have to watch it.
Dear. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is anybody in the comments? What do they think of the draft? Because I've always found it stupid anyway. Like the most.
I know Tiffany likes the draft. She's excited for tonight. Caleb's excited for it. So they do have their fans. So we'll see. Like, I know that they did in the past. They just have people show up.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you're like, you put on your Raw shirt and you head to the ring. You're like, oh, look who we just got. Right? And he's in a match right away.
Yeah. The only one thing I actually like about the draft, really, as I think about it, is obviously you get the NXT call-ups.
I liked when they were doing it with the champions as well. So you're like, oh, look at the titles going to SmackDown. Look what titles going to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And,
so sorry, I'm just looking through obviously sort of wrestling news, and I saw this and I thought it was absolutely stupid. Vince McMahon not interested in a new wrestling company. Now this was a report apparently was on about building his own wrestling company or something.
Yeah, I don't think Vince McMahon is starting up a wrestling company. No one is going to give him any sponsorship. No one's going to back him based on his history.
So the Wrestling Observer, I've just obviously got a little bit of information on this. The Wrestling Observer newsletter is reporting that according to a source very close to McMahon, he's not keen on starting a wrestling promotion. It was one of those things when I saw it, I'm like, surely this is a load of absolute bull. Do you know what I call that? I've just seen the image here. Busted.
Busted!
Oh, dear. GM Joe says they should just rename it as a shake-up or something because this isn't a true draft, especially when champions aren't eligible. That is true.
Yeah, I did enjoy the championship ones where the champions were going on. Do you remember when the dumbest one was when they just had the two women coming to the center of the ring and trading belts?
That was Becky and
Charlotte.
Yes, I remember that well.
And it was just so dumb. It was just like, yeah, we're trading belts since you're on that show.
But you know that actual thing alone, that actually caused a lot of backlash because I remember that it upset a lot of people.
Oh yeah, because Charlotte was being a bit of a
An absolute bitch. Anyway, so I've just been told by the
Look how you said that. No, absolute bitch.
I've just been told by the interns we've got somebody backstage. It says Shane.
Oh, is it Showtime Shane? Showtime
Yeah.
Shane, how you doing, buddy?
I guess Liam doesn't know now. I'm no longer allowed to be known as Sly Showtime or Shane Showtime. It's now Showtime Shane.
Has there
Showtime
been some
Shane.
copyright law I've missed about something?
We did a vote.
That was my idea too.
Now the bad thing is you almost got called sugar titties.
That would have been great. That would have been funny.
Hey, sugar titties is backstage again.
Remind me not to stop drinking.
Are we talking about Caleb's ex-girlfriend again?
Oh,
He's not in the comments, don't worry.
now can you pronounce this shirt you're wearing?
I've never been able to properly lost in dangerous Japan.
Say what?
Yeah,
Lost in-
exactly.
I think in my brain I'm able to say it, but I can't.
Like I can read it. I just can't. It just the translation from the brain to mouth just doesn't work.
I was having a problem one episode with Takshida.
What? You mean take a shit? No kidding.
Then as soon as the episode's over, I was able to say it.
Why can't you say it on the show? It's just one of those things.
It just wasn't coming out. I was just like, Takashida.
Dear. What do you reckon to the draft, Shane? I'll get your opinion on this.
For what?
The WWE draft.
It's kind of is like I agree with people before. It's kind of is getting old and stale. But at the same time, how else do you go about splitting up the roster, right? So it's that's the kind of a catch-22 there. It is kind of getting boring, like Money in the Bank briefcase winners. Mm-hmm. But when you want to balance two rosters, there's really not many unless they just straight up stick to the two rosters as it is and start having the GMs trade like they're like the NFL or NHL or something like that. Like I know they've done.
Can you show GM Joe's comment?
Which one? The last one?
Yep.
There you go.
Los Ingobernables.
Joe should be a teacher.
Oh, that's so. Speaking of Money in the Bank, what do you guys think of this idea? You do Money in the Bank and King of the Ring every second year.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, that would be good. Interchange those.
So on a Money in the Bank year, you would not have King of the Ring, and King of the Ring, you wouldn't have Money in the Bank that year.
And so I would say you stitch it on the same pay-per-view slot.
Yeah.
And then maybe even then, if you're going to do that, maybe consider Money in the Bank as a major, but like major every couple of years or whatever.
Yeah, that way they don't go stale.
Well, yeah, I mean, look how many times now the last two male belt holders that just went. Priest went on too long holding that briefcase, and Austin Theory's freaking cash-in just made the whole thing look like a joke, right, in the last while. So those are two examples. Those are two bad examples of why this needs I mean, good examples to say, hey, this should not continue. But
that being said, I don't think they're going to listen to us.
Oh,
what do you think about this, Liam?
I think Money in the Bank should only be like. I think they should get rid of the pay-per-view Money in the Bank because I feel like that just takes it away. I loved it when it was at WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean? That really stood out and stuff like that.
But do you still do it every year?
I'd still do it every year, yeah. The King of the Ring thing, I've never really been a big fan of it anyway, do you know, since like the modern era. Obviously, like 90s and stuff like that was obviously really good, but I feel like that's just got stale as well, to be honest. I don't even...
That's why the every 2 year idea might not be a bad idea. Like, man, the last true King of the Ring I can recall was the one Kurt Angle won. And all three matches he put on, because he not only did he had the match against Edge and Christian or whatever it was for the King of the Ring, but then the match against Shane McMahon, like that made him look like a true star and workhorse that night when he went through all that and won. No, then he got screwed in that. What was it? Edge won the King of the Ring that year
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, but he
I
did.
remember
He
King of
looked
that.
like a
the Ring
star.
right now are career killers. If you win this tournament, it kills your career. You have to walk around with a stupid crown. Do you remember how white hot Wade Barrett was before he became King of the Ring?
You're right. You're actually right. But King Barrett did roll off the top of your tongue, like tip of your tongue. Like that did
He
sound
had
cool.
the bad news Barrett gimmick, and then he
Yeah.
had to be the stupid fumbling king.
And then he'd come out the king robe and then throw it out like the entrance or whatever. I remember all that. Yeah.
I mean, the only person for me who really made it really, really work is obviously Booker T for me. Again, King Booker.
King Booker. King Booker.
And I think the thing with Charmel obviously made it work even more as well. I really like that gimmick.
Charmel, she, like, that's all she's known for, but still pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, see, and then I think about that year Edge did win. It wasn't a big deal he won either. Like, I don't remember him walking around with a crown or robe or any of that things after. Like, yeah, the night he got it, yeah, he got put on or the trophy, but I don't remember him actually bragging about being a King of Ring winner next week's after that either.
Let's put up GM Joe's comment again. Well, let's look at this idea. You have one briefcase and you have the women in the same match.
They almost did that idea during the COVID Money in the Bank. That was pretty similar to that idea. They had all 12 participants going at it at the same time.
I have a hard time thinking that they would have men and women in the match together.
Yeah, the thing is with WWE, I don't think I've seen many intergender matches.
Well, yeah, not since the Attitude Era. I remember there used to be a lot of intergender matches back in the day. Jacqueline used to fight a lot of guys in Jazz and
Lita, there's another one.
yeah, that's right. Lita versus Chris. Oh, actually, I shouldn't even mention that name, but I remember Lita versus a certain technical wrestler, and then Chris Jericho was saying how she was the best technical wrestler because she got the win over him.
Dear. Any more comments now?
But you know what? I see why they won't do Money in the Bank anymore for WrestleMania. It's a simple fact. The last many years, it seems like they've been setting it up to do titles. Either the IC title or the tag title has always been a ladder match the last few years for WrestleMania. So that's probably one reason why they would never bring Money in the Bank back there, because there's no way you could have two ladder matches on the same card, even if it's two separate nights with Mania these days. You still can't have back to back.
Right above you.
What?
There's a hatch right above you.
Oh yeah, that goes to the roof, or not the roof, but the attic.
Now, have you ever been in there?
I don't trust myself to go up there.
those kind of things creep me out.
Well, literally, there'd be a new entrance coming through about right there, a foot away from this entrance. If I was,
you would fall through.
Yeah, I'd be pulling an Al Bundy, Tim Taylor like move.
Oh man. So what do you have on this? Let's I guess wind down here. What do you got on the show tomorrow, Liam?
There isn't a show because I'm going to support two people who's been on our show before, our very first two interviews. But next week, obviously, we've got a big, interview on the Tuesday. We're going to be talking to MLW star. When this decides to look, there we go. Alex Kane's coming to the show.
That's cool.
Right on. That is cool.
And then, of course, this Saturday, I'm going to do some bit more retro play things because obviously, again, I'm going to be at another show. So this next couple of weeks, there's going to be content from our show, but it's just going to be a little bit more scattered.
And of course, you have Saturday night. You have the Garage After Dark, and that's you're gonna have some good matches on Collision and Rampage to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. They're doing another. Is it another 3 hour tonight? Tomorrow night?
Yeah, they're having the Rampage.
I know, Joe. They do two ladder matches for Money in the Bank because they set it up for the women's and men's separate. Like, yeah, sorry. Let me rephrase that. You can't do two men's ladder matches at WrestleMania.
Well, you remember when they did do that? They had three. At one point, they had three Money in the Banks.
That's right.
They had the SmackDown, they had the Raw, and then they had the women's.
Yeah, that got too much. Yeah, when they had separate, that's where it kind of got too much. Is when they had the separate brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like an extra prop, and it kind of does me head in, to be honest. Especially when they hold it for like months and months and months.
Yeah.
So this Sunday on the All Effing Wrestling Show, we're doing the super Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. Now, why do I say it's super? Because we're adding one more. The one more is your favorite right now. Who is the current wrestler that you're just like, this guy's the best?
Everyone could probably guess what mine is.
Well, unfortunately, my current favorite is on the shelf right now, but it's sounding like
don't be giving any spoilers.
hey, but there's quite a few. Hey, there's quite a few guys on the shelf right now, so that could be almost anybody right now, especially on the AEW end, man. You got a lot of top stars out right now.
Why are they on the shelf? They should be in ring.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, that's Sunday, and Shane will be there. Showtime Shane, straight out of the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
The closer.
Yeah, he's the closer. Now, did you know that Liam used to be known as the backup goalie?
I did.
Oh, really?
So you're the closer, but he was the backup goalie.
That's funny how I came up with the closer name and didn't even know anything about that part at all. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was the backup goalie for a while.
Yeah, but would it have been a backup football goalie or whatever?
I would just call the backup goalie. I even brought gloves once. I don't even know where they've gone, actually.
He had brought soccer gloves. We're like, no, this is a hockey goalie, Liam.
Yeah, where's your glove and blocker there, eh?
Can we just end the show?
Know that Liam used to think Canada Dry was an alcoholic beverage?
What's this like? Roasted me or something? Maybe we should do that. I've got it. Maybe we should do a roast.
I don't think they've merged Canada Dry with liquor yet, but I know there was one of the. I think there is a Schweppes hard liquor drink out there on the market as we speak.
Yeah, because you can't call Canada Dry and be alcoholic because of the dry name. It means
yeah.
Right, when you have two guys to finish, I'm going to cry in the corner.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. On behalf of Liam the Magician, on behalf of Showtime Shane, on behalf of myself, Canada Dry. Sometimes in life, it just knocks you down, and you're sitting on the ground, metaphorically. You need to get back up because it's okay to be down. It's not okay to stay down. You need to reach out to your friends, your family, whoever will listen and help you get through this. You need to gather the courage to step up, to put the devil in a sharpshooter and just keep fighting.